So in this automation, we dig into how you can really unlock the power of automation and find and replace to build document templates and then automatically duplicate, update, save, and email those documents. So this looks pretty simple. There's only 5 steps to this. And really, it's everything I just said. We're building a template, we're copying it, we're updating it, we're downloading it, we're emailing it. And as simple as that seems, that can really streamline some very repetitive tasks in any business. So I'll just show you the example that we did. We built a template for a mutual non-disclosure agreement. It's just an example I made up. You could do this with a contract. You could do this with invoices. You could do this with HR documents, any kind of document that's templated. And essentially, wherever we have these templated areas, these are the fields that we ended up putting as column headers into a Google Sheet. And what we're starting off in our workflow is we're saying, hey, anytime this Google Sheet gets updated or anytime there's a new row that gets added, we want to run this automation. That's the trigger that starts this. So if right now I add a row, this is going to kick off. All right. So once it comes in and it gets triggered, we're connecting to our Google account. We're duplicating the template, right? We don't want to find and replace the template or the template's going to just keep getting updated. We want it to stay as a template. So we're duplicating it. We're giving it a new file name that's dynamically pulling in the company name. And then we're updating that file. So this is the key node in this particular sequence. We're doing a series of find and replace. We're searching for a bracket date, and then we're plugging in today's date. We're searching for a company name, and then we're plugging in the company name from the Google Sheet, and so on and so on. And what that ends up doing is it ends up taking this template, right? So the template file has all these bracket placeholders, and then it creates a separate instance of that document where those brackets are filled in with these dynamic variables. Right, so the date has been filled in, the name of the company, the location, the address, all that information has been filled in, the name of the person, their title, all that's being populated from this row right here. And then as this gets updated, we then want to go back to Google Drive and we want to download this file so that it can become an attachment. And I won't go too far down the rabbit hole, but basically a binary file is like the actual file. It's not just text, it's not a JSON JavaScript object, it's the actual file. And then that file, we can go to email and we can download the file and we can attach the file in the email when we send this dynamic draft. And if you look at our drafts, here we have 3 drafts that match these 3 rows, right? So one of them goes to Acme Cartoons, one of them goes to Whole Foods, one of them goes to Dale's Games. And sure enough, in our drafts, this has an attachment called Acme Cartoons, Whole Foods, Games. And each one of those documents has been custom tailored with the specifics of these individual rows. All right, so this is just a quick walkthrough, a very powerful tool that we created. There's a lot of implications. There's a lot of different creative applications you could use. Pretty much any document you have, anything that's templated, anything that you could turn into these variables. This is a great use of N8N. And I don't want to skip over one very tricky part. So when you're just connecting with email, it's pretty straightforward. You can just click create a connection to email and it's 1, 2, 3, done. It's a little bit harder. We had to go into Google Cloud. We had to create a very specific OAuth type of connection. That's a way to do a handshake between your Google account and N8N. It's not that hard, but it's a little bit tricky. I did walk through the steps in the full-length video. And once you've connected this authentication with both your Google Drive and your Google Docs apps, that unlocks the ability to do these pretty sophisticated integrations. All right, so just a few more thoughts on what you could do downstream. Every time that someone fills out this sheet, this gets updated. What if the sheet got populated from a Google form? That could be another step before here. You send a client a single email, they fill out the form, and then it cascades, and you have all these different automation. They get the welcome packet, they get the contract, they get the NDA, they get the invoice, it just keeps going. So all of those different automations could all be triggered off of this one set of variables. The other thing you could do is, I have this being saved as a draft. You could have this just get sent. You could have this get sent to someone on your team who proofreads it. The idea of a human in the loop is still, I know I'm more comfortable that way. A lot of people are. But yeah, this is the core of how you can really connect your entire Google Office, Google Business account, and how you can start to automate those documents. All right, enjoy. I can't wait to see what you guys build. Cheers.